Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Closing Comments here on September 25th. Let's jump right into our charts and see what happened in the markets today. First up, we got our December live cattle on the board. We did see some more selling pressure continue into this market today. As we discussed last night, this 236.5 level was going to be the key level to watch throughout the rest of the week. This morning, price opened up at 236.40, trading below that bull pivot, immediately breaking down below that prior day's low and Monday's opening range, causing a bit of a sell-off here as any of these buyers that were in this market from early in the week started to take some heat, even if you're long from early on Monday, and probably ran some stops down here, forcing such a nice sell-off down to the 233 mark. At the moment, not a good look over the last couple of days here, as this market has given back most of this $10 rally we saw between Thursday and Monday session. At the moment, though, we do see this market pulling right back here into this range that we traded in over the prior 2 weeks. We can see this market bouncing back and forth between the 230 to 231 area and 236. As we head into tomorrow's session, we want to make sure the bulls continue to defend these low 230s and get a push back up here towards this bull pivot or potentially above it to get themselves back in position to take this market higher as we move into next week. One key level to keep an eye on here is this 230 mark. We do want to make sure that this 20-day low is defended and this market does not get a close below this 50-day average. Otherwise, that could invite some more selling pressure here into this market and cause a flush down here into the 220s. As we head into Friday's session, we want to make sure the bulls continue to defend these range lows and get a little buyer pushback here. We want to see them stay strong and aggressive down here at these levels and not completely give up this big rally we had over the late last week and early on Monday. Bulls want to continue to defend 230, so that's going to be the spot to protect over the next couple of weeks here. We should see how this market reacts over the next couple of days, but tomorrow's session to close the week is going to be a key one to see if the bulls are going to stay in this fight or if they're looking to throw in the towel here. So look for this 230 level to be an important one. Look for the buyers to continue to chop up here. We still have this market trading above this 50-day moving average, which is a bullish sign. Trying to find some support here in between these major moving averages and this rising trend line here. So they're not out of it yet, but we need to see them put up a fight here to finish out the week, and then we'll have to see what the next week brings. So keep an eye on some of those key levels as we head into tomorrow's session. Over in the feeder market here, we saw a similar action with price pushing right there below that prior day's low, and throughout the early part of the session today, pushing all the way back down here below this bull pivot and the 355 level. Nice little flush down here back into this prior 2-week range that we've been trading around. We want to make sure that, like those fats, the bulls continue to defend this about 345, 346 area. As we can see here, we have this rising 50-day moving average coming into these range lows, so we need to make sure that the bulls continue to defend this level. They still got quite a bit of room, about $8 or $9 lower before we can get down there below that level. So there still is plenty of cushion in this feeder market. If they can continue to get aggressive and defend this 350 to 345 mark, we could see this cattle market start to turn back up and head back towards these recent highs. But as we said in the fat market, we also need to see the bulls put up a fight here to close out the week and not finish the week rock back on our heels here. So let's make sure we want to see the bulls defend this level and this 50-day moving average and try and pick up some more buyer support where we saw over the last couple of weeks and see if we can get this market rolling back towards those highs. Next up, December corn futures. Pretty quiet day over here. We saw this market trading around that prior day's range, getting a little poke above that prior day high, but eventually settling back here into the 425 area. Not a whole lot of excitement in this corn market here as we continue to chop up and balance out here in this 415 to 430 range. Bulls, like we've discussed all week long, bulls need to get a push up here through this gap and the 430 level to confirm this uptrend. But in the meantime, we are going to hold a fairly neutral bias on this corn market. Look for them to try and find more support down here in these moving averages if we do get any sort of dip. But we could see this market just kind of chop up here around this 415 to 430 area until we can get a break beyond either one of our pivot levels. So that's what some spots to watch in the corn market. Over here in the crude market, we are seeing prices continue to grind up here towards this 65 to 66 level. This market, we also hold a neutral bias, so we do expect to see this market continue chopping up, finding resistance up here in the 65 to 66 level, pushing it back down here towards the low 60s. We should see this market continue to trade sideways here until we can get a break beyond either one of these pivot points and a close be it above it or below it. Not really expecting much directional movement in this market. Look for this thing to stay range bound. Equity markets continuing with the sell-off here today, pushing all the way back down here near the 20-day moving average. We did see the bulls, excuse me, that was the continuous contract here on December. Now we got this chart lined up. So we did see a bounce off of that 20-day moving average here today on the S&P futures. The NASDAQ, definitely the strongest of the group with a little bit more pushback here late, and the Dow being the weakest of the bunch. But just a nice steady pullback here at the moment. Good ebb and flow here in this market. Nothing too major here or nothing concerning about this. This market just in a nice strong uptrend here at the moment, pushing up into some extended levels and now pulling back towards our key moving averages. Look for the support at the 20 to hold. Bulls want to push this thing back up and get a strong close here on Friday if they want to turn this thing around earlier. And but we should see the bulls continue to fight back here at some point in these key moving averages. We could see dips all the way down here towards the 50. Would be a welcome sight here in this market that's just had tremendous strength. We do expect to see this market continue to rally here into the end of the year. This dip we're seeing over the last couple of days should lead to some pretty good buying opportunities. So we'll have to just wait and see how this market finishes up on Friday. But if we don't see that rally start tomorrow, we could just see a little bit of a deeper pullback into some value areas, and we still expect to see this dip be bought up. So look for higher prices in the equity markets and be ready for some good opportunities to buy some good value names and dips here as these major indexes are pulling back into these averages here. So that's all we got for tonight. Stay safe with the last day of the week tomorrow. We will catch you guys over the weekend for our Week 39 Market Watch. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys tomorrow or over this weekend.